Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So,
If you or someone you know is sick, have tried to get help and is not, we will screen your entire body and find your problem and treat you so that your body will overcome your illness. So visit us today, 72 Queen Street, Kitty, or call us at 231-6477 for further information.
all right, a very good evening to all of you,
Then
my friends and well wishers, and those of you who are expecting us to be on. Lots of people looking for us. Welcome to our program once again. It's Thursday, and it's the last Thursday in June, believe it or not. So half of the year is gone already. I got to welcome Dwayne and Dr. Richard. Welcome to our program.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
be
having
here.
me.
Thank you.
I got to tell you that many persons have been bombarding my phone, wondering when we're going to continue this discussion.
Oh,
And
wow.
I told him that we're going to be doing it soon. We are awaiting the new father and his presence. So here he is today. Many persons have been looking forward to our discussion regarding the consumption of flesh and uh, not versus the vegetarian diet, but we want to, guide those who want to consume flesh in the right way and those who want to not consume flesh in the right way. And we want to kind of help them to understand the benefits and the maybe the difference in the two types of diet. So um, before we continue, we want to ask those who are looking at our program live on YouTube to hit the subscribe button. That way you could be notified of the program whenever we're on. And you could press the like. I know you're going to like what we're talking about. So you hit the button, press the like so you can be notified. That way, whenever we're on, you'll know that we're on. All right. And then you can make your comments, make your suggestions and your requests accordingly. So here we go. Guys, the last time we spoke together, we were having our discussion regarding the consumption of flesh. And Dr. Richard had mentioned in our late discussion the China study. And I would like him to expound on that today. And Dwayne, you have your input. I'll have mine. This is not the Chinese study. This is a China study that was done regarding the benefits of not consuming flesh. So, welcome again to our program, and Dr. Richard, do you like to start? I don't know, or Dwayne. I mean, I can start if you guys like, but
Ah,
Dr. Richard,
whatever.
you can pick up your from where you left off.
Oh, good, good, good. Good evening, everyone who's listening. And thank you for the invite, Dr. Joe. And thank you for Dwayne being here too. I'd like to start with a quote from Hippocrates, who's the father of medicine. He says that he who does not know food, how can he understand the disease of man? So, food has a lot to do with uh, what we're experiencing as far as disease is concerned. The last time we talked, and I've probably spoken on this issue for many months before. And I love the study because it is the most comprehensive study ever done on diet and disease. And this study was done for over 20 years. It started in 1978 and ended in like 1997 and 1998. And it was done by Dr. Colin T. Campbell. I'm sorry, Dr. Colin Campbell. He's him and his son. They created this. They did this study, and actually, what how they started out really was to prove that to find a way in which actually to help individuals who are experiencing diseases like cancer and to combat it. And their conclusion initially was that how you were able to combat the cancer was by giving individuals more protein, more animal protein. And to their demise, I mean, surprise, they were seeing results were contrary to what they had thought. What they saw was individuals who were eating animal proteins, or a lot of animal protein, were coming down with a whole lot more cancers than those who were not eating much of any. And they couldn't understand that result because, of course, they were thinking that eating protein was very beneficial. And eventually, they went to China, and they found that China was a regular place because China has a lot of counties, like 107 different counties, and every county had a different sort of nutrition. Some counties were heavy in meat, some were heavy in vegetarians and diets, and herbs and things like that. They were eating a lot of ground food some places, and what they did was went and did a study in all the counties and was looking at different counties and see exactly what diseases were evident and prominent in each county. And what they found, the conclusion basically was, after going through the whole studies and looking at all the numbers, is that those counties that were animal-based, were eating animal-based for their diet, were heavily succumbed to cancers, all sorts of cancers. And those who were not eating any animal-based proteins did not have any cancer. So I don't know how you can, and they were surprised at that finding. And so the other thing they found also was, when you consume animal-based proteins in any way, eating the milk, cheese, or whatever, you were succumbing to heart problems, heart diseases. And they were finding out that you can get a person who has heart problems, and if you just change their diet and put them in a plant-based diet, they were able to reverse the heart conditions. So based on that, I mean, I would just like to look at that. There are many other things that they concluded from their study, but that's basically, I mean, when you really boil it down, that's what they're finding. Findings show that if you were to eat a whole food plant-based diet, that you're able to better protect yourself from having chronic diseases, basically cancers, heart disease, and different diseases. All right. So I don't know what comment we can go on, and I can share other information on the study as needed.
I want to add something to the study that you just mentioned regarding heart disease and cancer.
Mm-hmm.
The high fat content in flesh is a major cause of both cancer and arteriosclerosis in humans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The high content of fat in flesh is a major cause of both cancer and arteriosclerosis in humans.
That's right.
These are all studies that we compile information from. We just it's all there.
Yeah.
So there is a direct linkage in heart disease also.
Mm-hmm.
In heart disease, when you look at the fat content, the arteriosclerosis, and we're seeing that in our screenings on a daily basis. Persons who are consuming flesh foods, and not only that, because the flesh foods cannot be consumed as it is, they have to prepare it. And during preparation, the things that are used in the preparation of the foods also add to complications regarding hearts and cancers. So there is direct evidence and linkage between heart disease, obesity, and cancer when it comes to consumption of flesh.
Right.
All right. Well, here's the thing. You said that study was based in China.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Didn't COVID come from China?
A lot of things come from China.
But here's the thing, though. I know that in China, a lot of times they're not really clean.
But they use China because of the variety of foods that were consumed in China. They
But we
chose
also
that.
gotta.
They,
I'm
you know, they
sorry.
were able to match the different type of diets.
Yeah, yeah.
But we also got to keep in mind too of the quality, the surroundings. Are they clean, or are they being what's the word I'm looking for? Just pretty much clean. Are they clean with their meats? Is it grass fed? There's a lot of factors to take in. I again, I don't agree with just being plant based. For a lot of reasons. One, there was a doctor named Dr. Diamo who did a study on the eat right for your blood type.
Hmm.
And in that study, he spoke about, like, if you're O blood, you're supposed to eat meat, especially red meat being a medicine, right? Now, he did a study. He did a study years ago where he met, vegetarians or vegans who wasn't eating meat. And one thing that he was able to see is that they all develop an autoimmune, autoimmune disease, whereas in your body turn on you. He noticed that a lot of these people were having issues, and once they began to eat, beef or eat meat, they began to heal. So, you know, on the other end, as far as with fruits and vegetables, with vegetables, it depends on the way it is cleaned, because a lot of greens have protective chemicals on it or protective toxins on it because they don't want to be eaten by animals in the wild or even by humans. Now, fruits, you're able to eat fruits because of the low toxicity that's are in fruits. So that's why I don't eat any greens. I don't eat any vegetables and greens because, one, there is studies that show that it hurts your stomach from the phthalates and things like that. So we have to keep that in mind. And again, I can't say what's all the way in true and what's all the way fact, because what's all the way fiction, because I know what works for me. And when I did do my scan with Dr. J, the meat did come on, but it wasn't beef. And that's why I'm a big eater of beef. Beef did not come on my scan as in this is hurting you and things like that. Now, what studies are now revealing, the number one cause of obesity is actually the seed oils. Even more so than, anything else, it's the seed oils, and then, it's also the sugar. Those are the cancer causing substances that are, kicking, this propaganda that's against meat. If you want to get
Well, uh, as far as obesity is concerned, what they're finding is that the 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 diet, that especially the Western diet, is full of carbohydrates. We eat a lot more sugar
yeah,
and more than we should. And that's what they find out, and high fructose corn syrup and all these different things, especially in the younger generation. But the meat, I was like you at one point, but you know, what you see, once you see evidence contrary to, what you believe, there's no way of going back. It's quite evident, and I see it every day, that individuals that eat a lot of animal products, let me put it that way, because some people have preference. You have beef, some people have preference to fish, and some chicken. And what we see every day is that there's a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori,
H.
and that
pylori.
bacteria, H. pylori, is very, very prominent in, I would say all flesh, and a lot of times I worry about individuals that eat meat and they're not having, especially for a long period of time, and they're not having any symptoms like, gastritis and, bloating and, a lot of different GI situations. You eat and you get reflux and things like that. A lot of times what I'm finding out, especially when I see individuals who have been eating diet with flesh for many, many years, and they, when you question them, they say that, well, maybe sometimes I do have stomach problems sometimes, but then when you go and you check and you investigate a little closer, you notice that not only do they have H. pylori and they're not even aware of it, but their stomach gastric carcinoma, their cancer cells there, and some are even pancreatic cancer cells there. So if you, I put a caution on that, because If you're eating meat for a while, you're not experiencing any problems. And if you're eating meat, I would think you need to check, constantly to see what's going on with your GI, because things will change subtly and might not be even aware of it, because your body has a tendency to, you may be experiencing certain situations, but the body is more accommodating, and there's more homeostatic sort of situations occur, and you're not experiencing it, and that's what I've been seeing, So you got to be very, very careful with that. And the study, I like to study the China study because it's the most comprehensive. I looked at a lot of studies, and they're not, and the numbers don't lie. They're not very comprehensive, and it's not really, the numbers don't really pan up with the other studies. It really doesn't. When you do put it to the test, it doesn't pass. So I can't just close my eyes to what I see every day. And many other doctors who have come to the conclusion that yes, animal products do cause harm to the system. You may have a genetic propensity to be able to withstand a lot of abuse in the GI system, because it's abuse. When you eat a pound of or half a pound or whatever steak or whatever it is, fish, your body has to digest that content. And there's a lot of, every organism that has life or blood has microorganisms in them. So your body has to, decipher which is good and which is bad and go through. Yeah. And it disseminates and it goes through and it checks, and a lot of times whatever's in the organism that you're eating, ends up in your system also. So it has to fight that. Not only does it have to break down the protein into the constituent amino acids, because that's basically what it does. It doesn't matter. The body really doesn't care where you get the pound of meat or protein from. It could be from a lion's heart. Doesn't matter. But what the body does, it has to break down the protein into amino acids to be able to utilize it. And it's that process of breaking down that we find a lot of problems, microorganisms that are in the flesh that your body has to fight off and weed off, And a lot of times, if you're immune compromised, you have a problem. And that's what we see
along with that, high animal protein intake results in excessive vitamin losses. Protein metabolizes vitamin A from the liver into the bloodstream. Therefore, high animal protein increases the requirements for vitamin A. Simple as that. Secondly, contrary to the conventional wisdom, it is the flesh-based and not the vegetable-based diet that presents the greater difficulty in obtaining adequate nutrition.
Yeah.
So if you're consuming flesh foods and you're not consuming other foods that contain fiber, because flesh foods don't contain any fiber. You see, so although you may be you're exercising and you're not the average person out there eating flesh. The average person who is eating the flesh is not doing what you're doing. You're on the road every day exercising. You're burning calories. You're not the average. Flesh foods also produce a lot of uric acids. And uric acid. Well, but that's because you're not the average.
But here's the thing too. Beef also, contrary to what you're saying, beef does have vitamin A, and it also has vitamin K2, which definitely clears out the arteries. I eat raw cheese, and raw cheese and butter has been proven to clean out the arteries. And again, back to vegetables. Greens have been known to have a protective chemical on them. And
that is it. No, that is if you. That's not the average. You're talking about the average. The average produce that is made or manufactured or produced by chemical using companies. If you produce the vegetables organically, you don't have that sort of thing. That is for the average.
No, not the conventional, not the pesticides. I'm talking about naturally. Greens especially, they already have a protective chemical on them because it's like they don't want to be eaten by by the predators of nature, whether it be, I don't know, your wolves or things like that. They already have it on there. Like I said, fruits have a low toxic protective toxic chemical on them. It's low. It's not enough to hurt us. That's why, like you say, when you eat fruits, you're able to kind of go to the bathroom. And keep in mind, I mentioned this before, that when I did try the vegan, when I let go of the meat, when I was eating, organic vegan lifestyle, I wasn't, one, going to the bathroom. Two, I didn't have a lot of energy. And I did this for a year and 3 months because I was studying under Dr. Sebi, and it didn't work for me. Now I eat my, huh?
Were you drinking a lot of water?
I mean, I wasn't, let me see. I was drinking close to like a gallon, sometimes less, because I was always trying to, I was active. At that time I was a big jogger. I was running a lot, like 5-6 miles a day running. But yeah, I did it though. I did the kale, the dandelion. It didn't help me. It didn't help me at all. I still felt weak. I did it for a while. I felt like I wasn't getting nutrients, you know what I mean? But ever since I went over to beef, which is very nutrient packed, a lot of nutrients is in beef. I just feel like meat get a bad rep because of all this propaganda. They want everyone to go. They want everyone to go vegan and vegetarian. They making whole Netflix documentaries, shoot down. But I feel great,
Yeah, I understand what you're coming from, but the numbers don't lie, and what we see every day doesn't change.
Doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, like I said, especially with cancer and things like that.
But what if those people are already? You mean, at the end of the day, I mean, how do we know other things that don't affect them? Like they're now saying, we got microplastics, we got fragrances.
Oh, there's a lot of things.
Causes the growth of cancer. You got fragrances. You got, so many different things.
Many more. Mm-hmm. You're right.
There are lots of contributory factors that can also create conditions that can bring on cancer. But the thing is, the person who consumes a balanced diet has a greater chance of resisting and overcoming and helping the immune system to really ward off and to destroy bad cells. You see, when you consume a meat-based diet, particularly like you say, a meat-based diet, you are not really getting a complete balanced nutrition. You're not getting it.
How do you
can't get it?
Well,
there's also studies.
There's no theory out there with that. None.
Listen,
None.
I will say this. So beef liver has more nutrients than any grain.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. Is it possible for you to consume the beef liver by itself without cooking it?
You can do that, yeah. You can eat it raw.
Would you do it?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I like to cook mine. But you can. I like to cook.
When you cook that liver, you do not even know what the liver consists of. What was the animal? You're not even certain. You don't even know if that animal had a condition in its blood system that is at the liver, because it would be at the liver. You see, secondly, there are also larvae that is in the flesh, that when you consume it, it manifests and becomes worms or parasites.
Parasites are in vegetables as well. Parasites are in vegetables. Parasites are in greens as well. It's the same thing. If you Google it.
No. There is a fact that you can get larvae. You can get larvae from vegetables, from fruits. You can, but the flesh that you consume has larvae that I mean, you've got to really, the temperature that you've got to increase that meat to cook it to kill them, it's extremely high.
And you
And
don't even
most
really kill
poisons
them.
go over there to kill that larva. You
Yeah.
see?
Maybe I'm just
So that
anointed.
is
I'm
this is the
protected.
reason why. This is the reason why when we screen persons who consume flesh, we see 8, 9, 10 different types of worms, living worms in those persons. And that's no joke. You see, the other thing is that those parasites eat, mess, and multiply like you won't believe it. Okay, the other question I want to ask you is it possible for you to obtain nutrients from anything that is dead?
I do it every day. I do it every day. I mean,
Well, you're
yeah,
getting.
I guess I'm anointed. I guess because I fast. I fast I eat 1 meal a day. I don't feel like I'm lacking the way I did when I was vegan. That's just my experience. You know what I mean?
think, yeah, I mean, I think it might be, sometimes you have a psychological, you know, sort of thing, because you can get the same benefits from eating meat. You can get it from eating plants, same one. But it just has to do with a lot of times. The only difference is that you're getting from the plant a cleaner amino acid than you're getting from the animal, and that's the thing, and that's really what they have found with meat, is that there are many toxins. Now even plants have it. They're spraying the plants and doing all sorts of things, and they're doing GMOs and all that. That's another discussion, but your body knows the difference between a pure source, a protein source, and a protein source that requires a lot more to metabolize it. Eating the meat, everything in that animal, and you don't know exactly what the health of the animal, everything that animal has in him. It's just like somebody eating you. Every microorganisms that in your system, you're consuming if you eat another person or you eat another animal. So it depends on now that you have that antigen, and I call it an antigen because it's full of microorganisms. Your body now, the health of your body, your immune system comes into play. Because if your immune system is not up to par, guess what? You willingly put something in you that can harm you. And if your body cannot kill those cells that are in there in the meat, it's going to be in your body. It's going to create a problem. And every day, our bodies, yeah, sooner or later. I mean, you're young now, and you're very active, and you're actually doing a lot of you're getting rid of the toxins, but we don't know exactly what's in your system that are there. Like Dr. Joe talked about the cyst. We see people that are very, very healthy and they have cyst worms. It goes in the liver, and you don't know anything about it. You think you're feeling healthy and everything is fine, but when you do check the liver, you have cyst, you have worms. Fish has
You have to
worms.
screen him. You have to screen him soon.
Yeah, we do.
Nah,
The other thing that I wanted to mention is when an animal is slaughtered, the fear in that animal, the adrenaline that occurs in that animal, knowing, because they know what's going to happen next. All in that process goes into that flesh. And when you eat that flesh, you're absorbing all of that into your body.
So doesn't that apply to plants? When you kill plants and cut the trees down to get that kill or whatever? No, you still kill the plant.
You see, plants don't have.
You think the plant release the adrenaline?
I can't hear him too good.
No, you can and stick it in the earth, and it will grow again and produce again But you cannot take that dead flesh and stick it anywhere and get nothing but worms.
But let me ask you this though. So tribe and that Hazard tribe, and
Yeah.
they thrive off of meat, fruit, and honey. What about our ancestors who
Oh,
ate
they got
meat?
cannibal.
Huh?
Yeah,
They got
but
humans who eat. They got humans. They have humans who eat humans out there.
Yeah, they do that in
yeah.
India. I know they got a special tribe over there in India that does that.
Well, listen, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the thing with these they call them blue zone populations. I mean, a lot of them where people are living longer than they're trying to figure out exactly what they're doing. I mean, Dr. Sebi was right in regard to like when he said every diet, every individual depends on what part of the world you are. There's a specific diet that it's recommended for you where you are, you know. But however, there are consequences to diet, any diet, you know. If you go and look at that population in Africa, wherever they may be, there may be a lot of, they have not really fully done full studies in those areas. Like I know one study they did years ago, and they found out that some populations have Kuru. You know, Kuru is it's a very debilitating disease where they were eating the brains of animals, monkey and things like that. And you lose. It's a neurological. It's called Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, where you don't know where you are after a while, after a certain age. And some of those things are prevalent in some of those societies. But we don't have account of them most of the time. You're gonna die from something, believe it or not.
Yeah. Hey, I want to die in front of some steak, damn it.
Yeah, you wanted some steak in your mouth.
I want to be at the table with some steak.
Dwayne, where do you get your fiber?
Hmm?
Where do you get your fiber?
Fiber.
Where do you get your fiber?
Plantains, bananas. I eat fruit, mangoes, watermelon. I eat a lot of fruits, man. I eat a lot of fruits.
Yeah.
Lots of
See,
fruits.
so what is really making a difference in your life, in my opinion, is the things that you're eating that are helping to propel what you're eating that is dead.
But then
Seriously.
But no, I got a buddy.
If you plantain and the mangoes and the bananas and the pineapples, if you don't eat those foods, the flesh that you're eating will stay in your colon and rot because it doesn't have any fiber to propel it. If your peristalsis in your colon gets lazy, and if you eat meat alone by itself, it will get lazy because it has no fiber.
But see,
because our colon is so long, you need the fruits and the vegetables and the plantains and the fiber from the watermelon and all those things to help to move that through your colon.
You know what's so funny?
You'll be parasites.
But Dr. J, I got to tell you, see, I might as well, y'all should put my name as Dr. Contrarian, because I tell you, I got a buddy of mine in Florida, and he does the carnivore diet, which is strictly meat. And the man goes to the bathroom. I've got other people who I'm friends with, and they talk about it on their videos where they just eat only meat. I love plantains too much. I ain't never given up plantain, but they eat only meat, and then they go to the bathroom 2-3 times a day. I mean,
they gotta use some sort of catalyst. Yeah, they gotta drink water. They gotta drink some juice. They gotta they gotta do something to move it because it's not gonna move by itself. Trust me. It ain't going nowhere by itself.
When you get time, there's like a lot of people, because I don't do the carnivore diet. I mean, I respect it, but I don't do it. But there's people who do that where they just eat only meat. That's it. Only meat. Yeah, and they pass through. They got it on YouTube. I got like so many people on my Instagram, and they're like,
it's just for season. Just for season. Because eventually that comes down. I mean, there are people who Dr. Joe talking? Are you saying something?
He got that 3G.
No, you
Yeah. Oh, so it's just for a season. The numbers don't. I mean, there are people who've been eating meat for long, probably more than you do, and they've come to the conclusion now that they wish they had done some changes. Because they're succumbing to a lot of colon cancer and also a whole lot of cancers.
it's the
Inevitably.
third largest cause of mortality.
Yeah,
Meat.
inevitably, it's going to happen.
Largest. You know.
So I get organic, grass fed, grass finished.
Definitely.
The only two that beats that is alcohol and tobacco.
Yeah.
Meat third.
None of that.
Yeah. But look at this.
So if you're not consuming if you're not using tobacco, you're not using alcohol, you strike two down there. So you're at number one now with the meat, because meat is the number three.
I try
behind tobacco and alcohol.
I'm Dr. Contrarian. Like I said, I tried the vegan lifestyle. It did not work for me. I remember I got cold all the time.
It's just it's going to work when you when something happens.
I wanted to do it. I mean, I said
I would admonish you to really look at that again, because what we're seeing every day is no joke. Too many.
I'm gonna get scanned again.
Yeah. You need to.
You will be screened again. You will be. Don't worry.
No cameras though. No cameras. No.
We can't carry cameras. But the thing is, and the irony of what you're telling me is this, right? Look at this real good. The animal that you're consuming, right? Beef, right? Where did he get his protein from?
They eat the grass.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's cows, though. That's cows. They eat
Right?
grass. Well, these things eating cattle.
He's eating grass, and he's getting big and healthy.
Yeah,
he's eating something.
Can use that example, because the stomach's.
He's a vegetarian.
Just like gorillas. They try to say gorillas eat, don't eat any meat. But then we got different. What you call it? Our bodies are different. Our stomachs, we don't process the same food the same way as
the cow gets his nutrients from eating the green.
The green.
Yeah. And guess what? The nutrients go to the cow, and we eat the cow.
But you
phenotypes. We got different phenotypes.
You eating secondhand stuff, man.
That's good. It do me good. I listen, my asthma, I don't have issues with my asthma anymore. I feel and see the benefits. You know what I mean? Like, more energy. I push my body to the limit. When I'm working out, I see a huge difference. I mean, I guess I'm just anointed. Maybe I'm just supposed to be the spokesperson why we should eat meat or something.
A lot of it has also to do with your belief.
Yeah.
You believe that eating the flesh is giving you everything you need. You believe that, and they say belief can kill and belief can cure. So if you believe that, that's part of your success.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something too. Now, y'all blame a lot on me, but check this out. When I was 315, I didn't have diabetes. I didn't have no blood pressure issues. My resting heart rate at 315 was 54 beats per minute. I still had good heart. Still no cholesterol, none of that. And I was
300 pounds.
When I was 315 pounds, I had no issues with any of that. Well, with like the blood pressure, diabetes, none of that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe, like I said, I'm anointed. I'm anointed.
Well, you probably have some genetic, good genetic pool. I mean, but
yeah.
the thing is,
not the same as the average.
Yeah, you might have
the genetic code is not the same as the average. right? We're talking about the average. The average person who consumes what you consume doesn't get the results that you got. It's not proven. The numbers don't lie. You know, there is exception. They have exceptions. It's not to say that you're not one of the exceptions, but the average, no, doesn't. Meat is our third largest cause of mortality. That's not what they say. That is written. It's proven.
They're eating grandma food. That's why that grandma meat.
Meat is mostly wasteful of natural resources. They say that. I didn't say it. You know, meat makes nutrition difficult and complex.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. It's written. A non-meat diet results in greater health and vigor than a meat diet. That's written.
Mm-hmm.
Then you gotta question the people who's putting out the propaganda, who's paying them, who they lobbying for, who, you know, it's so much.
These were studies that were done. This is not just somebody talking.
Yeah.
These were studies that were done.
The China study is there. It's available for anybody to look at.
Reduces the risk of getting the killer diseases. That's written and documented.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, you can't.
So, what you're experiencing is not for the average person, because the average person suffers when they consume flesh like that.
I would go and say that the majority of individuals suffer. You may not suffer now, but later on, you know, you're going to have some problems, because it's just evident. It's there. You know, I mean, I can't. You know, like it says, a man convinced against his will is still of the same opinion still. I'm not, it's you to make, you know, you have to make that decision. But a lot of people who have, individuals who are very obstinate about meat, sometimes they come to us and sometimes they come to us at the time too late. You know, we can't do anything about it. And I can always go back, and I've done it several times, to tell them, well, you know, you start getting sick when you eat this because you have a stomach problem. A majority of them have stomach problems. A lot of them is at H. pylori, you know. And if you have
salmonella. I mean, you can get salmonella from vegetables, but
you can get a lot
it is highly noted that
it's a lot of things. Yeah.
I've definitely had a lot of stomach problems. That I'll admit to that. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like,
you got to check it out for real, because
I've had, and you fixed them. You fixed them, Dr. J, before I start.
Well, yeah, you go back and eat the same thing.
I help you to fix your stomach problem so you could go and eat all the meat.
I wasn't eating high quality food. I didn't know chicken was bad for me. I was eating chicken every day. So, I ain't know.
We tell you meat is bad for you too.
But if meat is so bad, why didn't it pop up in my scan?
It probably did.
It did. Oh no, it did. Beef, chicken, turkey, all the meats, fish except for beef.
Yeah, but they're all. Let me tell you something. All of them have the same potency. I mean,
pretty much
all of them the same thing. Same thing. And meat in general, flesh, I should say. It's the same thing.
Besides that,
the machine don't lie.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
because the machine reads from your body, so it doesn't lie. It takes when we screen you, it's what's in your body that we see. It's what's happening to your body that we see. So if it lies, it means that your DNA is off. So
but I'm putting
it doesn't lie.
I'm putting two together here. He wasn't eating meat for a while, so he started back eating meat. So I guarantee you, this time you go back and you do your screen, it's going to show up. It's going to probably be the first one up there.
No.
See what is happening with Dwayne? Dwayne knows that we are here. So if he has an issue, He's gonna come by us. We're gonna find it out. We're gonna help him to sort it out, and then he's gone again. He knows that we're here.
Hey, but seriously, Dr. Richard, seriously, I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Every single thing but beef popped up on my. And that's why I went to beef. That's why I went to beef. That's why I was like, I can't do chicken, turkey. I can't do, I don't mess with pork. I've been cut that out.
Yeah.
But
why don't you eat pork? It's meat too.
Nah, I'm gonna be real with you.
Why?
I'm gonna be real. Wifey said, if you eat pork, you can't get with me, and I was done with it. So that was easy.
Yeah, pork has a lot of. And if you eat it even at 1 or 2 times, there's trichinosis. There are worms there, and they're there for life. The thing is, I guarantee you, this time you go and you get screened, it's gonna pop up.
Well,
because
beef?
what your body actually is doing, okay, is looking at harmful substances that are hindering its metabolism, its normal functioning. Right now you may think that you're everything is okay, but your body, you don't know exactly what biochemistry is playing out in your system to make you feel that way. Because what your body's trying to do is just trying to function in a way that
compensate.
To get by. Yeah, it's compensated. So when you go this time, I guarantee you it's going to show up. All of it's going to show up.
Let's bet.
We don't program anything.
No, I ain't gonna bet you. I know. You're gonna see.
$100 bet.
It's gonna pop up. It's gonna all sorts of meat, goat meat, cows, anything. The thing is, your body it's wonderfully, you're wonderfully and fearfully made, and these things will not go past it. It's gonna show up. Definitely gonna show up.
Here is something else. A very high intake of animal protein increases the excretion of calcium, contributing to the severe bone loss and osteoporosis. That's written.
Yeah, there's other things.
There's so much evidence that's out there that proves that the flesh. It's not the flesh.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Okay, that's the reason why people suffer from so many illnesses, because it takes so long to process, to come out, that they have the digestive disorders, they have parasites infestation, absorption of so many nutrients, so many bad nutrients, because the toxins that are assimilated from the animal, whatever it is that is consumed. There is, as long as you don't get diarrhea, you're going to absorb what is in that flesh. I don't care what you eat, and whatever is in there, you're going to absorb that into your system, and then your poor body system now has to configure all sorts of things to try to your immune system goes through changes, trying to assimilate and to remove and to get rid of, and you know what? In many instances, it is stored. It is stored in the intestine, the walls of the intestine, a lot of it, because the body is not able to process it out.
Yeah.
And we see it every day.
Yeah.
So
I see it all the time, but
I'm taking $100 bets that beef ain't gonna show up on my next screen.
Don't do it. You're gonna
Dr.
lose.
J and for Dr. Richards. I'm taking $100 bet. That's all I want.
It probably.
What we're going to do, we're going to give you deduction in your medicines for $100 because you're going to need them. She's going to need them.
But
you know what? There's I got to find that study that there are people who consume flesh that. The flesh, because it is not excreted, it is stored in the walls of the intestine for years. All because they didn't consume enough fibers to move it out. Because remember, it's dead. It's no life. It has nothing to propel it. So if you don't consume something to move that, what's going to happen to it?
So I'm curious. So if your stomach acids eat up the flesh and it's dead, isn't that the same thing for other stuff? That your stomach acid is killing it. You killing it.
You are already consuming something that has been dead.
Yeah.
So if you get greens and you warm up the greens or you cook the greens, collard greens, let's just say, ain't no nutrients in
No, man,
there.
just got no. You see, there again, many persons who prepare those foods, those vegetables, overcook them and kill them. Many persons who prepare them.
And
They prepare them incorrectly. So they actually kill the nutrient. The value of the produce is destroyed by the heat, the excess heat, the way they prepare it, the length of time they cook it. A lot of that is destroyed. So when you already have this flesh that's been dead for who knows how long, then you cook it. You're going to cook it so that you can consume it. That heat again is destroying what is in there that may be nutritious. Let's say that's why some people eat beef when it's pretty much when they cut it, you see all the blood in it. Some people eat it like that because they want to get the nutrients out of it. But when you consume that, you don't even know if that animal had tuberculosis.
That's true.
You don't know.
That's true.
It might just be your time. You get.
Huh?
It might just be your time.
Well, yeah,
Listen, this is no joke. Listen, Dr. Richard and Dwayne. I interviewed a gentleman who slaughters cows in an abattoir. I interviewed him. Okay, I wish I'd recorded it. And I asked him, I said, tell me something. When you're preparing to kill these animals, what happens to them? He said, what he told me was it's crazy. The way the animals behave because they know they're going to die, right? So all that adrenaline, as we talked about earlier, goes into the bloodstream. Okay, all the chemicals. And then I asked him, I said, how do you know what disease this animal may have before you kill it? And he said, Doc, if I tell you I don't eat no meat, I stop eating meat because I know that some of these animals that come through here, we know they're sick, but we kill them anyway.
Yeah.
Is that an organic, grass-fed pasture?
I don't know if it's organic, if it's halal. I didn't ask him anything else. He said, Doc, I stop eating.
Well, what's organic about grass though? Where do you get organic grass?
Well, here's the thing: they're not spraying anything with the pesticides because a lot of times, see, people eat beef, they have these issues because they're eating the grains, and grains are known to mess up the stomach. Bread, rice, things like that, it's known to mess up the stomach. So, like you guys say, when you're eating the grains, or when the cow eat the grains and you eat the cow, you're gonna more than likely have issues. But the grass-fed, and it being organic, that is what I don't have any issues with my stomach when it comes to going to the bathroom because of the certain cows that I'm eating. Like I had
but you're eating. Remember, you're not only eating the flesh, you're eating fruits. You're getting the fibers. You're getting the nutrients from the other things that you're eating. You did say some guys eat the meat alone by themselves without anything else.
And
but
then
they're going to go because they're not only eating meat, they're drinking a lot of liquid probably. They're drinking liquids. They're not going to eat meat and don't drink liquid.
Water, yeah, water.
So they're using a catalyst that will help to propel that matter through their system. But I can promise you that if not already, soon enough, they're going to have digestive disorders.
Yeah.
They're going to have problems. They're going to have problems. They're going to have kidney problems, liver problems. Because all the chemicals that are being absorbed into their body system from what they consume, that dead matter that they're consuming, the body got to process that. And guess what? Those organs are going to get tired after a while.
Yeah. The thing is, they even did studies, like, for example, the transit time of certain things. Like, if you eat vegetable, the transit time is 60 minutes. You eat fruits, the transit time is 20 minutes. If you eat meat, transit time is 5 hours. It's a lot. It takes a lot of time, and the body has a lot of energy to utilize those fibers. They got to break it down into the protein, the amino acids, and they got to break it down into fats and the carbohydrates. That requires a lot of energy from your system, And then the transit time is longer So whatever cancer-causing chemicals are in the meat, it's in you. All the byproducts of that and it goes for the vegetables too. All the byproducts, when that breakdown occurs, stays in your system. That's why we have a lot of people with microtoxins, you know, heavy with lead and mercury and all sorts of things. And you're like, where did you get this from? Man, I don't know, but I just know that I eat a lot of fish. Okay. Mercury, yeah. You know.
We
So,
see
you know.
mercury, cadmium, mycotoxins.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We see them every day.
So
Every day.
you know, you're gonna get it one way or another.
We have to really apply what we know, that you know some of, to help people to clean up a lot of what they absorb when they consume dead matter.
Yeah.
Dead matter, because it's dead. You wouldn't eat it alive. It's dead. You know? And when it's dead, it's dead already. Then you're gonna cook it more dead. It becomes more dead. And now it is heavily concentrated, and you put that in your system, and your body has to take that and process it out. You know, it's a lot of work for the body system to go through. And that is the reason why so many people suffer. They suffer with arteriosclerosis, with heart disease, the trauma that the heart goes through to help the digestive process of the stomach. It's hard for you to understand.
Yeah.
When you consume dead matter, you know, even when you cook the vegetables the way they cook them, sometimes dead, it still puts the body through a lot of stress to process it. You know, that's why they say there's a certain way to cook vegetables, not just to kill it more. You see, there's some science behind all that stuff, and what you want to do, you want to consume foods that are going to create less stress on your organs to process out. Yeah. And then you want to let those foods be like medicines to your body.
Yeah,
when you absorb it, it's be like nutrients to your body.
I guess.
And I find it very difficult. I find it very difficult to believe that something that's dead could give me anything that's life, that's living. I find it very difficult. You cannot get, in its true sense, you cannot absorb anything living out of something that's dead. In its true sense, you can't. It's all going to be dead.
Yeah. But, you know, Dr. Campbell put it nice and clear, because he grew up on a farm, and they raised cattle, and they would slaughter cattle, and they would eat meat all the time. I mean, that was his lifestyle growing up. And the reason for his study was to prove that, you know, getting better source of animal protein would be beneficial to individuals who are experiencing cancer situations and all different chronic diseases. Come to find out, and that's from his own mouth, he said this, that it's quite the opposite. It's a flip. He didn't start up being a vegetarian or being knowing plant-based whole food diet. It had to convince him, because he grew up in the farm. That's all he knew. They raised livestock to eat it.
I think we need to wrap up, because I just realized it's after 7.
Oh wow.
we need to. Yeah, I just realized that. I think the studio was trying to call me, so we're going to continue this topic. We're going to continue it, because there's a lot of information that we need to clear up, and we need to put people on the path where they could make the choice, of course, to eat the flesh or not. But we want them to do it from a point of knowledge.
Yeah, healthy choices. Healthy choice. Yeah, make it. Yeah.
Again, you know, I'm in sleep, but I'm gonna get my.
Because we're out of time, I just want to take 10 seconds of something final. 30 seconds, 15 seconds, something final.
Yeah, let's just. Yeah, it's important, and as we go through with the research, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of it, and we'll get one by one. We'll see exactly what the significance of it all is.
And get screened, because again, you know, just because it's working for someone else, that don't mean it's going to work for you. So
exactly,
kill the ignorance. Kill the ignorance.
Exactly. Now, this program is really to edify people to be able to point them in a direction where they can make the right choices. And I want to make it clear that we're not lambasting each other here. We just bringing out all the points that we think are pertinent, so that you could be guided down the right path. So, guys, I want to thank you very much for your participation. We're going to continue this next Thursday. All right. Don't make the baby keep you from coming on. Next Thursday we're going to continue. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for participating. You're telling me you got a program to be on with Dr. Joe and Dr. Richard, and he was giving you a break for an hour. Okay.
I'll be back.
Thank you for participating, for being involved, and don't be afraid to call us if you have a problem. Call the clinic at 231-6477. Make your appointment so we'll be able to help you to somehow find your problems and help you to overcome them. Thank you very much, guys. Good night. God bless you all.
All right.
Peace.
Nice.
To get help and is not feeling any better? Then call or visit the Health and Wellness Center, where we will screen your entire body and find your problem and treat you so that your body will overcome your illness. So visit us today, 72 Queen Street, Kitty, or call us at 231-6477 for further information.